And I am here to help uplift the fucking weirdos, okay? The people who don't fit in, the misfits, the healers, the creatives, the intuitives, the people who are showing up in this world to blaze a new trail. I am in Yuma, Arizona. If you've ever been to Yuma, you kind of know. There's not much to Yuma, but I am staying in a motherfucking castle, my friends. I'm not even kidding. This is a big ass house shaped like a castle, and I'm in the Queen's Suite. It's pretty phenomenal, right? Your bitch may be in Yuma, but she is a queen in Yuma. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, Yuma, Arizona. It's not much to write home about. The other thing I'm really excited about today, my friends, I'm here a lot because it borders on the dental mecca of Mexico. It's called Los Algodones. That's where I go to get my teeth worked on. And if you followed me around at all, you know I had like a saga around my front tooth. I had to get my front tooth pulled out, right? And I'm getting an implant, but I have to wait like 4 months. In the meantime, I have this partial that I have to put in there. But this partial that they initially gave me was so loose, it kept wanting to fly out of my mouth. If I spoke too fast or ate too fast, it would like fly. And I'd do this, like catch it with my mouth. It was so bad. But anyway, this one's nice and tight and it's not going anywhere. And so I'm feeling much better. And now I can talk at normal speed and not have like a quarter of my brain concerned that my tooth is going to fly out on a live, which it's funny when it happens with me or like with me and Shay. Less funny if it happened here. Still too vain. Still working through that. And welcome to the Mystic Bitch Show. My name is Ingrid H. Turner. I'm a psychic development teacher. I'm a psychic medium, and I'm a somatic manifesting coach. And I am here to help uplift the fucking weirdos. Okay, the people who don't fit in, the misfits, the healers, the creatives, the intuitives, the people who are showing up in this world to blaze a new trail. I am supporting the next wave of spiritual leaders. Okay. If that feels like you, if you resonate with those words, you are my people. Stick around. Give me a follow. I want to get in touch with you. I want to exalt you and bolster you and train you up so that you can step onto your world stage and share your gifts with as big an audience as you can handle. Welcome. Thank you. I love you. Okay. On that note, we're going to talk about how motherfucking powerful you are. I am not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm not. This is something I have downloaded from Divine Spirit. I have been a channel for Holy Spirit for 10 years. It has been my full-time gig. Okay. I do automatic writing every day. I tap into spirit every day. I do readings every day for you, for others. And the consistent message that I get from spirit over and over and over again is you are so powerful. You are so powerful. We are so powerful that we have the ability to snuff out our power. That's how powerful you are. You are amazing. And it is my job to flesh that out, to dig that out of you. Because the thing that keeps us out of our power is fear. And that fear shows up in all kinds of fun little costumes. Like unworthiness, like blame, right? Like self-sabotage, procrastination, avoidance. What are some of the ways that fear shows up for you? What are some of the ways that you avoid your power? What are some of the ways you avoid your power? Call yourself out, and here's why. Not to beat yourself up. Not to say, oh, I suck, I'm terrible. That's an ego trip, all right? It's to call yourself out so that when you see it, game over. Once you see something, it has to change. It has to change. That's the observer effect in quantum physics. In quantum physics, they discovered that you cannot observe something and not have an impact on it. That's how powerful you are. Even when you don't even know you're powerful, when you're not even trying, you look at something, you have an effect on it. Try this sometime. Go out somewhere and start looking at a stranger. Just look at them. They can have their back totally turned to you. Just look at them. See how long it takes for them to turn around and notice you or make some kind of movement where it's like, oh, something's going on, right? Yeah. That's how powerful you are. The fear that we allow to dictate, to take over, overlays our power. We're stuffing it. But we're that powerful that we can actually stuff it. Are we whack? We're fucking whack, right? But we are loving ourselves whack. I am loving you. So I want to tell you this story. I had this story in mind that I wanted to tell you. One of the most potent channelings that I did that showed me the power of the human race. You have to understand that humans are so special. We're so special. And we are conditioned to reject that specialness, to look at it as something like, that's wrong. Oh, you're bad if you like yourself, if you love yourself, if you think you're hot shit. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you heard people say, oh, she just thinks she's hot shit, doesn't she? Why is that a bad thing? Out of curiosity. I want to pluck out that conditioning because I want you to show up and say, I am a bad bitch. Yeah, I do think I'm hot shit. And I'm going to sit there behind you going, yes, she is. Yes, he is. Oh, yes, indeed. Let me tell you this story, my beautiful friends. I love being a channel for Holy Spirit. Tapping into God consciousness, doing that on a consistent basis, it raises your frequency so much. As long as you stay nice and grounded in, oh my God, it's such a game changer. So one day, this was early on in my psychic career, in the early days, I was going to see a healer. Back in those days, I had a hard time with my energy. I had a hard time grounding my energy in. So I would go to healers and they would help me. And then eventually I had to learn how to do it myself, which I did. Hallelujah. But it took a while. So I went to this beautiful healer and she used tuning forks on me. And I'd never had tuning forks used on me. So I was sitting there on the table and she's using these tuning forks and there's music playing. And I start to get messages, craft, hovering over the earth. And they said 100,000 years before humans arrived. And then I saw a golden Buddha, just this golden Buddha. And I asked the question, I said, why were you here 100,000 years before humans got here? And right, that's when I saw the golden Buddha. And the answer I got from this being who showed up and handed me this white light, he said, because we knew the Buddha was coming. And what he meant was the Buddha is in all of us, not just the one Buddha, Siddhartha, who we all know to be. The Buddha is inside every human. We are so special in that we are unlocking something absolutely special and unique that in all of the universe. And this universe is just this sliver of creation. So in this sliver of creation, we are unlocking something inside of ourselves that is so potent and so powerful and so divine. We are surrounded by extraterrestrials, extra-dimensionals, divine spirit. Everything and everyone is watching this planet and they are watching humanity evolve, expand, break open, break apart. And do you know what it is that breaks us open to our Buddha nature? In the immortal words of the greatest rock and roll band of all time, love is the answer. And that is why it is our mission to move from fear to love. It's not your job to move anybody else from fear to love. It's your job to move yourself from fear to love. When you transform the fear into love by learning to love yourself, by making decisions that are in the direction of love. When you do that, you shift your frequency radically and fundamentally. And it is that shift in frequency that shifts the frequency of everybody around you. When you are in a state of pure love and you have an interaction with one person in that state of pure love, that interaction raises the frequency, not just of that person, but it ripples out to thousands and thousands of people. One interaction. The new earth, Spirit says, the new earth is carried in on the backs of the individual. You show up and love yourself more, and everything flows through you. That is how you access your power. And it's not hard. It's not hard, but it takes commitment. Fortunately, humans are really good at commitment when they decide. Think back to the last time you made a commitment, a decision. When your energy's not split and you have made a decision, you're unstoppable, aren't you? And you know what splits your energy? Fear. Fear. The only reason you can't make a decision or you're stopped up is because you are afraid. And it is usually of the unknown. You are afraid of the unknown, afraid of expansion, afraid of being seen, afraid of failure, afraid of what other people might say. But when you're focused, when you've made a decision, if you're sitting in a chair right now, get up from your chair. Decide you're going to sit down. Sit down in that chair. Bam, you've made the decision. You sat down in the chair. Is it possible somebody could come in and pull the chair away from you before you sit down? Yes. But you're not afraid of it, are you? Because you made the decision. Whew, you're locked in. Faith and love are the same energy. And sitting down in that chair, that's faith. You have complete faith that it's going to be there. What if you could cultivate that kind of faith and make a new decision? Make a new decision. In my somatic mastermind, somatic manifesting class, which I did this weekend, and when I was preparing for the class, I asked Spirit, I said, Spirit, God consciousness, give me some 6 truths, 5 or 6 things that we can lock in on. Make this really easy. Give me a creed. Give me a creed for this somatic manifesting class. And boy, did I download it. These 6 items of truth came through like fucking lightning, my friends. And I wrote it down. I got so excited. I created a pretty little PDF, which you can go download for free. Let me give this to you. We're going to talk about it, okay? So, 6 beautiful truths that tap you back into your motherfucking power, that move you out of fear and back into love and back into faith. Number 1, if I desire it, it is meant for me. You are God creator being. You are God creator being. There is nothing that you cannot conceive of. If you want it, you can have it. The only thing in your way, fear. The only thing in your way, not making that decision. Every successful person on the planet will tell you that the hardest part for them was making the decision. Once you decide, it is yours. And knowing that nothing is off limits, that everything is meant for you if you want it, how does that feel? Take a minute, just breathe into this. If I desire it, it's meant for me. What's that thing you want? What do you want to create, achieve, experience? You really, really want it, but you're really unsure. What is that? And now overlay it with this truth. Oh, if I desire that relationship, it's meant for me. If I desire that job, it's meant for me. If I desire that home, it's meant for me. It is meant for me. It is meant for you. But we are so powerful, we fuck it up. But there's nothing wrong with that either. It's not about right or wrong or good or bad. It's about putting it into alignment, putting yourself into alignment. Great comment, Dreamweaver. Truth number 2, somatic manifestor truth number 2. I am worthy of everything that I desire. I want you to consider this. Isn't the very idea that you are unworthy kind of stupid? I mean, why? Why are you unworthy? In fact, the fact that you question your worth proves your worthiness to me. It proves to me that you are showing up in integrity and doing your absolute best and showing up to be the beacon, greatest beacon that you can be. The idea that you might be unworthy, it just tosses that right out the window. I am worthy of everything I desire. That desire, that thing you want, overlay it with this truth. Oh, I'm worthy of that. I'm worthy of that home. I'm worthy of that love. I'm worthy of that experience. I'm worthy. Are you worthy? Fuck yes. Truth number 3, nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. Just because you were born broke does not mean that billionaire status is off limits to you. You just have to focus. You just have to shift out of fear. You just have to walk towards it. Nothing is off limits. Number 4, everything is one energetic shift away. One energetic shift away. It is not years of hard work. It is not years of psychotherapy. It is one energetic shift. And this one is maybe my favorite. Number 5, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You don't have to know how or why or when. Anything can happen. That relationship that's so challenging right now, that can change because anything can happen. The bills that you're behind on, that can change because anything can happen. Anything can happen. There are not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or even 10 possibilities. There are infinite possibilities. All you have to do is shift your energy and anything can happen. Anything. And number 6, I am radically responsible. I am radically responsible. That doesn't mean it's your fault. That means it's your power. And you are responsible, not for out here, not for other people, not for what's going on out here, for your energy, for your energy shift. How does that feel? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to put it on your wall or keep it on your phone, right? And I want you to, every day, you're going to pick one of these truths and you're going to contemplate it. You're going to set the intention to have a deeper understanding and to see this truth manifest in your reality. Look for evidence of this truth. Look for evidence of it. If I desire, it is meant for me. Look for evidence of your desire, where it's showing up, all the little bits and pieces. I am worthy of everything I desire. Look for evidence of your worth. Pick each of these. Set the intention to contemplate this truth. And at the end of the day, create a hit list. Document the evidence of this truth showing up in your life based on what happened, how you feel, your interactions, everything. Evidence of all of it. Evidence of each of these truths. Just do one a day. And watch how your life changes. Watch how your energetic shifts begin to shift the experience in your day-to-day life. Now, this is just a snippet of the somatic manifesting class that I taught. And I'm going to create something more in depth. But if you want to start with this is a powerful piece. It's just a little piece, but this is a powerful piece. Go get it. Go download it. Use it. Okay? Contemplate it. Put it into practice in your life. I started doing that this week, sort of in preparation for our podcast, right? I took this creed and I started putting it into practice. I started paying attention to it. And let me tell you a couple of really cool things that happened to me. The first thing that happened was like kind of a little thing, right? The first thing that happened was I needed to start, I signed up for this site called Hello Audio because I want to do more private podcasts, right? I want to turn like courses and teachings and stuff into private podcasts for, specific things. I'm really excited about doing that. Hello Audio is a little bit on the spendy side for what I want to do, but I just kind of went, okay, well, I'll bite the bullet. But before I did, I was looking around for a discount online. I'm like, maybe I can find a discount online. I couldn't find anything. So as I'm going to the site, I just went, God, give me a discount. I mean, come on, give me a discount. And I shit you not, because I had an account before, as soon as I went to the website, this dialog box popped up that said, reactivate your account and get 50% off the first 3 months. I was like, yeah, there's my discount. Boom, right there. Every day this week, I have made some money while I've been sleeping. Not much, but I've been making money while I'm sleeping. How cool is that? And then the other thing that happened the last 2 days, which is like fucking mind blowing. So remember back in 2020 when everybody was getting unemployment, right? I hope you were one of the lucky enough ones to get that. That was a really great thing that everybody got. I was really happy for everybody who got it. My application went into some black hole And I had this like weird thing where on the website they were like, you qualify for a maximum payout of $10,000, but there was no way for me to claim or certify or anything. Like there was nothing I could do except like look at this sum that I couldn't access, right? This is about like 2 years ago. I tried to get in touch with them a few times, but it was impossible to get a hold of EDD back then. So I let it go because that was not something I was going to waste my time hanging on to. Just let it go. Well, yesterday I got an email that said, oh, you have claims to certify for now. And I went there and sure enough, I could go certify for everything back in 2020. I was like, dang, that would be really, really cool. And then I get an email this morning as I'm doing my meditation. Right afterwards, I look at my phone and I have an email from them saying, oh, extra weeks, double the amount. Which means that money, EDD money from 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, is going to be hitting me here. And you know why? Because it was one energetic shift away. All I had to do was shift my energy. This wasn't about worthiness or working hard or complaining about it or being a squeaky wheel. This was me letting it go and fully moving into my fucking alignment. My fucking alignment looked like doing work I love, loving myself more, taking care of myself, moving from fear to love every single day. That was just in the first part of the week as I put this into practice. So you, my beloved friend, please put it into practice. I want you to love yourself more, find your power, step into your gifts, and then show the fuck up because the world needs you. The world needs you and your gifts. And your gifts shine through when you trust yourself completely. And you trust yourself when you love yourself. So let's get started on this process, shall we, darling? Okay, mystic bitches, we are going to do some Q&A about psychic development, spirituality, manifesting, or you can ask, who the heck are you, Ingrid, and how did you get into this work and whatever. I'm an open book. Ask just about anything you want about me. If I'm not comfortable answering, then I'll tell you. First question from Diamond. I have a lot of deja vu. Just got done watching your video. Yes. Okay, let me know if you have a question about that, if I can explain that any further. But deja vu, for those of you who haven't watched that video yet, so this is really interesting. This is where it gets like mind bendy, right? When you tap into spirituality, as soon as you like start to mentally go over it, you lose it. But I'm going to do my best to explain this. Everything is happening at the same time. We are having every possible experience at the same time. So what I mean by that is you and I are having this experience right here. Okay. But in another draw, and every permutation, every possible permutation of this experience is happening at the same time. So it's not like past, present, future is not really a thing. That's how we perceive it, but that's not really how things work. Everything is happening at once because all that exists is the present moment. And that present moment is all across the reality. Our consciousness is focused on this point in creation, but we're having this experience and another drop of time, if you will, it's going slightly differently. So I'm using a slightly different turn of phrase, giving you a slightly different experience, and on out it goes until in some version of reality happening at the same time, you're up here and I'm there, right? It's all possible, infinite possibilities. Right. As soon as I start to think about it, I kind of go, whoa, my mind starts to like bend and feel uncomfortable. So I don't think about it too much. But that's what a deja vu is. A deja vu is essentially a slip into another drop of time. So the reason it feels the same is because it is the same, except ever so slightly different. And it's imperceptibly different. And so it feels like the same. So you have this feeling like, whoa, I've been here before. This is not the same as prophetic dreams or telling the future, claircognizance. So claircognizance is clear knowing, which is when you know something's going to happen and then it happens. Deja vu is something that happens in the moment where you're just like, whoa, I just had a deja vu moment. Again, not the same thing. If you know something is going to happen and then it happens, that's not deja vu. That's telling the future. That's claircognizance, knowing what's coming next. I hope that clears that up for everybody. I see spirits, but they've stopped. Why? Probably because you don't need to see them right now. Our intuition and our gifts ebb and flow. And the reason for that is because we're not really designed to be in spirit all the time. We're here to have a human experience. And when we feel our intuition drop, like we feel cut off from spirit, that's because you need to be grounded and in the body and in the human experience right now. Don't worry. Your gifts have not gone away. They will never go away. As soon as it's appropriate for you, you will open back up and reconnect with spirit. For right now, I would not worry about it. And I would go and just live your human experience. Okay, just do human things. Focus on the human stuff, human body. It will return. When do you know if it's a true sign from spirit? You feel it in your heart, honey. You feel it in your heart. You feel joy, a pop of joy and love. And like, oh, there it is, right? That's how you know it's a sign from spirit, as opposed to your mind looking for signs from spirit. That's a very different sensation. That's a, questioning, is it, okay, I'm looking for it. I'm hooking in with the validation, but that sign from spirit is usually not expected. And when you see it, your heart pops. You have this sort of, oh, there it is. Doesn't matter what it is. If you have that feeling, that's your yes, that's your sign from spirit. Okay, what do you recommend to heighten your mediumship? Certain centers to study at. So mediumship, the first thing you want to do is get your energy right, get yourself nice and grounded, work on the energy, then your psychic skills, then mediumship, then channeling. That's how I teach it. If you want to get started, go download my Psychic Development Starter Bundle in the Stand Store. Guys, this is an $8 psychic development bundle. I've truncated 10 years of teaching dozens and dozens of students to be psychic mediums into an $8 digital bundle. That includes meditations, energy exercises, clairs exercises, lectures from me, worksheets, hit lists. Go get that for $8. That will be a really good starting place for you. And then you can decide where you want to go from there. My son has had sleep paralysis, seeing dark shadows, then can't breathe, how to make it stop. You need to do a clearing in his room. He's very, very sensitive, and he's picking up on the energies. And there's some icky energies going on in his room. Do a house clearing. So the way that you do a house clearing is you set your intention. The way I do is I go to the center of the room, and I usually have Palo Santos or sage or even a stick of incense. It's not really necessary, but it feels good. And also a nice smell lifts the vibration, the frequency of a room. Okay. So stand in the middle of the room, hold, your Palo Santos or sage or whatever you have. And I want you to intentionally move your heart space and your energy out into the room. Visualize it so that it permeates the entire room. Pay attention to the color, to the sensation. Let it go into every single nook and cranny. And then I would take the Palo Santos wood or whatever you have and go around the room, in the walls, especially in the corners. Stuck energy tends to build up in the corners. And you can say a mantra or an affirmation of your choice. Sometimes I say the Ho'oponopono, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I have some Hindu mantras that I like. Whatever you like, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as you're saying it with love and intention. Because remember, you are fucking powerful. You are God creator being. There is nothing that is non-physical that you cannot dominate, because you belong in the physical world. Nobody else does. If your son is comfortable with this, you can go ahead and have him join you and do this as well. It might give him a sense of power and empowerment. Remind him how powerful he is. The other thing is he can verbally say, go away. Before he goes to bed. You can do that together. You say, go away. I don't want you in here. If it's a ghost, you have to verbally say it, because they can't read your thoughts. A ghost is a continuation of the human experience without a body. It's very uncomfortable, but they will generally go away if you tell them to GTFO. Okay. So you make the call whether your son, that is appropriate for your son to be a part of that with you or not. I know that it was really powerful when I did that with my son. When my son was little, we lived in this very haunted place. We lived in a couple of really haunted places. But at one point, there was a ghost that I saw there that looked like he was from the Revolutionary days. I don't know. It was like an old, a young man, and he was kind of, dressed in that old timey stuff. And my son and I were staying in one room together. I was on one side and he had a bed on the other side. And one night he woke up and he came over and he woke me up and he was terrified. He said, Mom, we have to call the police. There's somebody living here. There's somebody here. And I was really groggy and didn't think that much of it. And I just kind of wrapped him up and went to sleep with him. But he was really scared. The next night he did it again. He came and he said, Mom, we have to call the police. Somebody is living here. And that's when I woke up enough and clued in, went, oh, he's seeing a ghost. So poor kid, just pale as a sheet. He was so scared, that poor guy, because he has such an intense experience of it. I laid him down in my bed and I had him say, okay, do you see him? He said, yeah, yeah. I said, tell him to go away. Say it loudly. He said, okay, go away, go away. My son was like 9 years old. And it was the most amazing thing to watch. That ghost went away and my son completely relaxed and just fell asleep right there. Just angelic. Worked right away. So maybe it would be beneficial for you to give that power to your son as well. I'm trying to heal and love self. Lost where to start, feeling so down. I know this is a big one. This is a really big one. I would start with prioritizing your self-care in the morning. Spiritual practice, alone time, time with spirit, time with God, rituals, routines, things that bring you pleasure. Start your day off with meditation and prayer and healing, and then see how that sets you up for a day that feels much better. And remember that it's okay that it takes time. You are allowed to feel how you feel, but do yourself the service of starting your day off with a loving exchange with yourself and with spirit. All right, beautiful. How do I know if my third eye is open? Well, you know it's closed if you don't know if it's open. Also, with the third eye opening is, the third eye is for clairvoyance, it's for spirituality, it's for intuition, but you want to start with the lower chakras. Generally, if we are jumping up to our higher chakras to try and open those first, we're neglecting the lower chakras, the root, the sacral, the power center, and then the heart and the throat. All of these chakras, these centers need to be healthy and open and grounded in before you're going to effectively open up the third eye and the crown chakra. If you just open up the third eye and the crown chakra, then you're going to do yourself a disservice by spinning out into spirit when you need to be grounded in before you open up to spirit. So if you're struggling to open your third eye, that's probably an indication that you need to go down lower. Ground in, okay? Ground in, do your energy work and then build up from there. Okay, darling? Is it normal for mediumship to see shadows of people when you close your eyes? Yes, indeed, my darling. Is chakra opening in your $8 pack? Not specifically, but I am always adding. I keep adding to that psychic development bundle. One of the perks of buying from me is if you buy something, you get the updates for free. So I am sending out updates as I add to that psychic development starter bundle. So it's worth spending $8 on it while I am continuing to build it out, because as it gets more and more meaty, the price is inevitably going to go up. But if you buy it now, you will always get that material for free because you opted into it today. I keep feeling pressure on my forehead, third eye spot. That is an indication of your third eye chakra wanting to open, and also a resistance to it opening. So you can help that by trusting your perception, trusting your intuition. All right. Even if it seems crazy, you're like, what? Just roll with it and see what happens. That will help the pressure there. I keep dreaming of the sun. Sometimes it's so bright, I wake up. What does that mean? So okay, we're talking about dream interpretation. One of the interviews I'm doing for the podcast is happening in February, and I'm actually interviewing a master dream interpreter. Okay. And I'm doing it for you guys who have crazy dreams. And I want you to be able to come to this podcast recording as a live audience. You're going to be able to hear the podcast, learn about Harmony, her background, everything that she does. And she's fucking amazing. She's one of the most amazing psychic mediums I know. She is my go-to person when I need a reading, or if I need to refer somebody out, she's my first pick. I also trained her, and it was her dreams that brought her to work with me. And she's really good and really passionate about psychic development, dream interpretation, as well as psychic mediumship and all of that. I'm trying to focus on myself, 3 months preggo and 3 kids, father not in pick. Yeah, so that's not easy for you, honey. I acknowledge that. You know, I was a single mom. I had one child. Dad wasn't in the picture. It was all me. I know how hard that is. I know that it's even harder with multiple kids. Spirit said something to me one time that was really, really helpful when I was going through a hard time and having a hard time finding my own rhythm and routine with self-care. Spirit said, find peace in the cracks of your life. So, Nina, when you're going about your day and you have a moment of calm, get in the habit of using that to take 3 deep breaths. Right. and just ground yourself in. Come into your body. Just find that peace in those cracks in your busy life. I hope that's helpful. How do you get the bundle? You can get my Psychic Development Starter Bundle in my Stan store. The link is in my bio. Folks, it's $8. It's $8 and it's 10 years of psychic development basics in that bundle. And like I said before, if you buy that bundle today, you get the updates for life and you don't have to pay anymore for it. So if you want to learn to be psychic, start there. It's an easy place to start. I would love to see you here next week. I love you. I appreciate you. I adore you. Have an amazing rest of your night, okay? I'll see you soon.